If you numb your pain, you numb your teacher. So many people today, they just don't want to feel bad for a second, right? Everybody out there is trying to feel good all the time. Whenever something negative comes up, whenever their anxiety comes up, flares up, whenever their depression or loneliness starts to creep in and really set in, whenever they start to get really angry, right? Start to get really frustrated, whenever they start to get really horny, whenever they just start to, their lust is just, killer. Almost everybody relieves these things. They escape these difficult feelings by relieving them or numbing them with some sort of agent, substance, pill, distraction, activity, what have you. But in doing so, they are making sure that they do not get better. They are assuring that they do not get the proper signals of pain, of the difficult emotion, of whatever they were feeling that could have taught them something and transformed them on a fundamental level. It could have actually made them better to the core. It could have gave them a lasting change that would have made them feel better all the time. That eventually would have helped you permanently relieve your anger, permanently relieve your depression or loneliness or insecurity or frustration or your deep anxiety or fears. Permanently get rid of your overwhelming feelings of lust all the time. It's crazy how people think that just because they're feeling something negative, they must stop it, right? They must change it. They must immediately address that and make it so they don't feel anything negative anymore. Pick up a bottle of booze, smoke some weed, chill out, relax, eat a tub of ice cream, eat, pounds and pounds of, burgers and chicken wings, and look at some porn, masturbate. This goes for men and women. Masturbating, like, it's a huge escape. Huge. Sex with just anybody, huge escape. A lot of people use their relationships as just, ways to control their lust. They don't even necessarily like their partner. Like, they don't even like the person that they're with. They don't really connect with them on a deep level. If the person stopped having sex with them, they would probably no longer be served in the relationship. Like, ask yourself, really ask yourself, if you're currently in a relationship or a marriage, if you guys stopped having sex, would you even want to live with that person? Would you want to see them all the time? Would you want to hang around them all the time? Would you want them in your life? Or are they, if you take that out, are they more of a nuisance, actually? More of kind of just a thorn in your side, just kind of like, you're not really getting much from them. That's most relationships nowadays. But people don't even see that. That's just clear. That's most relationships. People are just using a person as a suppository for their lustful, feelings that they just relieve with them. Like, what? The only way to ever get better permanently, a fundamental change to you, where you actually start to feel better all the time. The only cure, so to speak, is for you to deal with the difficulty of life head on. You have to engage with your pain. Have to. You have to. It is your teacher. Your pain is your teacher. I get it. I get, there's a lot of women out there that they just feel overwhelming anxiety, overwhelming depression, sadness. And they, all their friends and all the things that they're seeing on TV and even celebrities now are telling them that what you need to do is just take a pill, take another pill, and take this pill, take a pill concoction. It's so normalized today. Like, where did we get this idea that it's normal to take pills? As if you're so fundamentally, like as if you were born into the world needing pills, and that's what you were missing. That's why you're depressed. That's why you're anxious, is because you don't have pills. What? No. You were given everything by God or the universe from birth. You were given everything that you need to survive, to thrive, to feel great. You were given everything in this body and in nature around you. In the world, in nature, you don't need anything man-made. You don't need anything made in a laboratory. You just don't. You just don't need that stuff to feel good, to be healthy. In fact, that stuff is what makes you unhealthy. It just numbs your pain. It distracts you from your pain. It suppresses it further. You never deal head on with your difficult emotions and get better with difficult emotions. That's how you get better with difficult emotions. How you get through anxiety and depression is you go through it. You deal with it. You let yourself feel it. And I understand, like, some people out there, like, it's bad. And if you're ever suicidal, you need to try all other forms before you take some pill, because oftentimes that doesn't work either. That could make it worse. You need to try all other forms of remedy, right? Are you working out? Do you have good people around you telling you good things? Are you protecting your energy? Are you just too stressed at work? Are you living for other people and living for what you think society wants from you instead of living for yourself? Doing what makes you happy regardless of what other people think? Are you eating healthy? Do you have some sort of space in your mind? Have you noticed that there's space between you and a thought that you have, that you are not your thoughts? Do you have some sort of spiritual activation within you? People just don't want to deal with the pain. They just want to run from it. It's a temporary, all these things, if you want to take a pill, it is a band-aid to a wound that just festers underneath. It just gets worse. That's all that's going to happen, is it's just going to get worse. Because you are not engaging with actual fundamental reality. You're engaging with a fantasy world. Your perception is warped. When your perception is warped, you can't get proper signals. Life sends you the proper signals. When it's telling you that you're depressed and that you're sad and that you're anxious, it's telling you something. It's telling you that there's a reason why that you need to address internally, through healthy habits, through maybe looking inside yourself, looking inside your mind, looking at the way you think, the way you view the world, the way you view other people, the way you view yourself. It starts from within. But people don't want to do that because that's hard. This is the hard way. I fully understand that this is the hard way. Nothing could be easier, and we see it in society today, by how big of a percentage of people deal with their problems in an escape type of way, on some sort of crutch or multiple crutches. I get it. It's the easy way. It is undoubtedly the easy way. But nothing worth it ever came easy. And in fact, cheap, easy pleasure is the road to hell. It's the road to suffering. Trust me, I've done it. I've been there. And if you think that I'm speaking from a place of, oh, well, you've never went through anxiety or depression. I've went through bouts of depression, and I know anxiety so well. Panic attacks, I am super familiar, super in touch with anxiety that's so crippling to the point of chronic panic attacks that leave you incapacitated. And I never took a pill for it. I never took a pill for it. So think again. I'm speaking from personal experience. It was very difficult, I give you that. But I knew that the answer was not taking some pill. I knew that I had to get through it in some other way. Your pain is your blessing, It is the only way that you will be taught how to get better fundamentally. So you need to feel it. You need to engage all of it. You need to engage. A big one for people that they don't look at. You need to engage how horny you are. You need to feel that. Don't relieve it. Don't relieve it. The answer is not to relieve it. It's telling you that you need that the answer, the quick way would be to manufacture some form of release of sex that isn't real, in the form of like masturbation or looking at porn or something like that. If you're doing that, that is just an escape. Your horniness is telling you that you need to, right? You need to get out there in the real world, get with a real person and procreate. But how do you do that? It's easier said than done, right? It's going to force you to be better. Your horniness is going to force you to be better. You have to be better to get a mate, right? That's what it tells you. It tells you, okay, we're not getting anything, so this is painful. This is hard, right? But through that, that is the fire, that is the pain that drives you to become better, to get in better shape, physically and mentally, emotionally, to work on yourself, to choose good habits. Your sexual energy getting transmuted upwards into, your higher sort of faculties is absolutely a real thing. Absolutely, it is a real thing. If this is the first time you're ever hearing of it, it's absolutely a real thing. If you starve, just look at it this way. If you're starving an expression of energy in a certain channel, right, that it's used to, it will find another channel to express itself. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be channeled. So that energy is still there. If you are not releasing it via masturbation or sex, then that energy will find another form of expression. And that form of expression will help you in life. That will make you better. Whatever form it comes out in, that's unique to you. That's unique to who you are as a human being. It'll come out in the way that it's supposed to come out. But it will enhance you. It will make you more attractive as a human being, as an individual. People think it's crazy. Like, people think just because they're horny, oh, I need to masturbate. I need to relieve it. It's like, that's not real. You're not actually doing what's natural. You're not actually connecting with another human being. You're not procreating, which is actually the purpose, right? In an entirely natural sense, you would only reserve it for procreation, for getting a woman pregnant, or if you're a woman, to get pregnant. If we're looking at the utility of sex, right? The purpose of it. Now, human beings, obviously, we use it just for pleasure, but there is a huge price to pay for that. And I'm not saying that you can't, if you have a partner, if you have a wife, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy sex with them, but you should start to cultivate sexual discipline. It will make your relationship better. It will enhance every relationship, because then you actually know if you actually like the person, love the person for who they are. Sex is important, but I don't think it's nearly as important as people think it is. You should be connecting with somebody on a soul level, on a spiritual level, where you just literally enjoy being around them. You enjoy their energy. You enjoy them being in your life, right? It's not just about like, oh, they're great in the sheets, you know? Trust me, if you start implementing sexual discipline into your relationship and it suffers, then that's probably going to tell you something. That's probably going to tell you that it's not really built on the right things, right? Not to say that you can never have sex with your partner. Obviously, you can have sex with your partner. It's a individual decision, between partners, but sexual discipline is always a good idea, to be more sexually disciplined. You can only benefit you and her, or you and him, if you are doing this. you can only benefit individually and together. Now, if you want to have some pleasure every now and again, yeah, for sure. But for men, I would strongly recommend that you don't ejaculate unless you're trying to get your woman pregnant, right? Because you are literally just wasting energy. You're wasting your energy. You're wasting your masculine energy. You're giving away your masculine energy. And this has kind of gotten off the rails a little bit, but it's, it applies all the same. Do not get distracted. Do not distract yourself. Do not numb yourself from your pain. In whatever form your pain is, whatever difficult emotion, difficult memories, difficult physical ailments, difficult this, difficult that, you're supposed to feel it, right? You're supposed to accept it, surrender to it, let it transform you. It's the only thing that can. It's the only thing that can transform you fundamentally. Everything else is just delays it and makes it worse in the process, makes you dysfunctional, makes you energetically erratic and weird, and gives you different sort of like perversions of the mind and, weird thought patterns and weird sort of perceptions, ways of viewing the world, viewing yourself. It all just, if you're not clear, right? If you're not engaging with life in a clear, sober way, then you as a person are not going to be a clear-minded person. You're not going to be a clear, pure, focused, reality-based person. You're going to be off in some imaginary world. You're not going to be here. You're going to, because you're escaping, you have escaped. You've escaped this. You've escaped reality, so you're not going to be here. You're not going to be in reality. Does that make sense? You're going to be removed. And you'll be engaging with other people that are removed from reality. And everybody's just kind of removed from reality, and they're all just in, they got different sort of issues that they're dealing with, and they like to bond over their issues and, reinforce them and indulge them. And it's just a whole like trauma bond type society where you like, basically, I don't know, you're just supporting everybody's like illnesses. It's like, what? Because you're ill yourself. But pain is the ultimate teacher. You can't run from it. You can run from it for a while, but eventually it will get so bad where it breaks through. It breaks through all your numbing agents. It breaks through all your distractions. It will come like a freight train. It will crash through your mind. And you will be forced to either deal with it or just up the escapism so bad that you just become like, you're just a drug addict. You're so far gone. You're an alcoholic. You're a sex addict. You're on so many pills. You're just basically a mummy at that point. You're just like, there's a lot of older women like that. They're just, it's just like, you're not even, you're physically here, but your mind is just not even on this plane. I mean, you're not even here, So deal with it before that point, because that's not fun. All right, that's it. That's the video.